Maybe the rebuild is on for the Cleveland Browns. Remember when Andrew Berry goes, well, maybe a reset. Everybody's kind of pointing to a rebuild year. When you make two trades of a guy that was a starter and is a starter, it's hard to not point a finger and say maybe the rebuild is on. I'm not saying that's a bad thing for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not saying that's maybe what they need. The problem is you got other superstars in that locker room that were maybe sold something different. Oh, isn't that going on somewhere else in the city of Cleveland right now too? Superstars sold something that's not exactly going the way you thought? We'll get to Jose Ramirez in just a little bit. But Andrew Berry pulling off two trades this week. One of them, actually, I'm not going to lie, Ryan, I understand both of them. From the standpoint where I think Berry is coming from, we got to talk about a smoking gun that everybody thinks they have with Kevin Stefanski admitting that Andrew Berry and he are on the same page. I got to shut that all down. We'll get to that. Steelers week! There is an insane stat that I will give you about how good the Steelers are coming off of a bye. They're facing a rookie quarterback. Might not go the Browns' way on Sunday. We'll get to that. Hey, we got some Cavs action this week. Let's go. Preseason, baby. Proctor.
We're back.
We're back. You know what drops tonight? Thursday night, Ryan? Jackets are back, baby.
Wow,
Let's go. Yeah, season opener for the Blue Jackets Thursday. Perfect timing to get some Cavs in our lives. Perfect time to get some Jackets in our lives. We got it all. We'll get to the grid, the report card. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. So happy to have you along this week on the show. Following either on social media, Thursday night, 7 o'clock during the football season. Ryan made an executive decision that was just so right on. We go out Thursdays at 7, leading up to Thursday Night Football. Fridays on the Rock at 4 o'clock. As always, presented by our great friends at FanDuel. Oh, these parlays are getting me, buddy.
You said you've been kind of hot.
I've been hot on some parlays lately. They're fun. We got our parlay coming up. My bad. I was screaming when I said guaranteed win for that Giants money line last week. So we'll get to our FanDuel parlay coming up in a little bit. Presented by our great friends, Fairway Ford, Physicians Ambulance, Garage Beer. Did you apply for that job at Garage Beer, by the way?
No, I saw that. I wanted to.
Garage Beer, our great friends, Garage Beer. They have exploded so much they need somebody to just help them with DMs and stuff. They got 5,000 applicants for that job. So shout out to Garage Beer and our amazing friends at Pure AV. So we start with the Browns. The Flacco trade. I'm just going to go chronologically here. Let's start with the Flacco trade. We'll get to the Newsome trade here in a second. But, you know, the Flacco trade, I mean, he was no longer in your plans, right? You have gone to Dylan Gabriel. We'll wait to see about Shedeur being the backup versus not. And, you know, could be Bailey Zappi. I know people are going to work themselves into a shoot. Shout out to Ken Carmen. They're going to work themselves up over if Shedeur's the backup or if Bailey Zappi's the backup. You have gone in and say these rookies are our guys. So Joe Flacco, while Tony Grossi reported he talked to his agent, Joe did not request a trade. I'm sure he didn't. But the Bengals called, which I think was the surprise. Second. And you realize that Joe Flacco was not going to be in your future plans here.
What?
You make them... What? What do you mean?
He's only 40.
He's
Matt.
only 40, right? He's only 40. If it goes bad with Dylan Gabriel, you're going to go to Shedeur Sanders. And if that goes bad, then you're just going to sign Bailey Zappi or you're just going to bring somebody else in. The writing was on the wall. That's where it was. Now, what a lot of people got tripped up on was that Kevin Stefanski was asked about the trade. And he said, it surprised us. And everybody instantly wanted to jump on, well, he was surprised that Andrew Berry would make that move. There's a disconnect. They're not on the same page. No. He was surprised that the Bengals called. That was the surprise. And then the Bengals very clearly called the Browns and said, we need him to start on Sunday. We need to get this trade done now. And they moved quick and they made the trade. That's the surprise. That's the surprise. Yes, the Browns and Bengals don't make a lot of trades. Ask Hugh Jackson about that. They were in a pinch. And if they think Joe Flacco is going to bail them out, then God help them, right? Good luck. They need something to keep it afloat till Joe Burrow gets back. So they were desperate, and desperation is a stinky business. They were desperate. They make this move. The Browns sat there and said, listen, it's a twofold thing. We don't really see Joe in our future plans. Yeah, draft capital, okay, fine. Every GM loves that. But how about this? Let's do Joe a solid. He wants to go play. Let's let him go play. Now, inherently, you say what? Well, you're helping a division opponent to go make the playoffs potentially. We ain't going to factor in it this year anyway, man. It's not how this is going to go. So that's, I think, the only thing on the surprise part of the Bengals on this. They were desperate. They wanted to go get Joe Flacco. Now, here's an interesting wrinkle to this whole thing, Ryan. What if Zach Taylor gets good play out of Joe Flacco? Now, that's a giant if, because their offensive line is actually maybe worse than ours. Their defense is porous. Now, he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think I could throw for 100 yards in an NFL game throwing to those guys. You got those two factors in it, but could you imagine the heat that'd be turned up on Kevin Stefanski if Joe Flacco goes down to Cincinnati and plays well? That's another little wrinkle to this whole thing that I don't think a lot of people are. And again, I'm focused on the Browns, and I want Dylan Gabriel to play well and the development to happen there. But that's a little wrinkle to this whole thing. What was your reaction when you saw the Flacco trade and kind of the rumor? I was shocked in a way. I was surprised, like Kevin Stefanski said. But when you really sit back, I think it just made sense for both sides, and that's usually how trades come to fruition.
It made sense. It's just kind of disappointing because everything you did in the preseason, the whole quarterback battle was all for nothing. But once the season went in the wayside anyway, what does it matter at that point? A little bit surprised the fact that you're willing to go with two rookies. I know Stefanski hasn't named Shador the backup yet. It could be Bailey Zappi if he gets elevated. But again, that's still a younger guy with not much experience. But at the end of the day, your season's already in the tank. I was a little shocked the Bengals didn't call for a Jameis Winston, but I guess you needed a Joe Flacco who can come in, learn the system in one day, hopefully, and pick up. And you already did play Green Bay, which they mentioned. I'm not sure if that really factors into it, but I don't think it's going to work out by any means. I mean, you could have prime Jerry Rice, prime Randy Moss on the field with outside of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and you still have a bad O-line. You still have a guy who's going to turn the ball over. Like, the issue with Jake Browning wasn't, I don't necessarily think, well, it was a mixed multitude of things, but it was the turnovers was what killed him. But what's Joe Flacco known for? He's going to turn the ball over as well.
Yeah. What was the first point you made that I
quarterback battle was for nothing.
That's it. So the question was asked to Stefanski, why'd you go through all this thing? Because anything can change. Yeah. Things can change tomorrow. That was another one that I was like, what are people trying to get at here? What are people trying to look at and say, well, why'd you have a quarterback battle between two guys that aren't even here anymore? You didn't know back then. You didn't know either. I didn't know. Stefanski didn't know. Nobody knew back then that neither one of these guys were going to be here. So you were operating with the information you were given. Is a famous argument that Danny and Nick used to have, and I used to have on our prior show, where they would try to jump on Andrew Berry, but GMs, about them lying. The big battle was when Andrew Berry, after that last season with Baker, said Baker Mayfield's our starting quarterback. And then they go out and they get Deshaun Watson. And they go, he lied. And I was like, no, he was operating with the information that he had in that moment. And I don't think that's lying. Little Costanza, it's not a lie if you believe it. They're operating with the information they had at that time, at that moment. This was the situation we were in. So you battled those two guys out. Kenny Pickett hurt his hamstring, was no longer a factor, and then eventually Joe played so bad that you had to bench him. Let's not forget the domino of this, too. The reason Joe Flacco's not your starter anymore is not about Dylan Gabriel. It's about Joe Flacco and the offensive line and the receivers dropping passes. I understand all of that. But this got set in motion because the Browns' best laid plans got detonated. Whatever their idea for this season was, whatever they sold to Myles Garrett when he signed his deal, that plan went up in a nuclear blast. Kenny Pickett, not a factor at all. Joe Flacco played horribly. Here we are. It doesn't need to be any deeper than that. That is what happened. Kenny Pickett got hurt. You go with Joe Flacco, hoping to create some magic again, and looked what happened. Ryan, what's a conversation that you and I had on this show in the preseason? I said it's never going to be as easy as some people think just to recreate what you did in 2024. Or I'm sorry, 2023. There you go. That's where we're at, Flacco. So I don't think there's anything more than that. Now, the Greg Newsome trade that just happened, late Wednesday night, that one I was like, what are we doing here? Albert Breer had a good tweet. He said, basically, this is a fit trade, okay? We'll talk about contracts in a second. Greg Newsome is better when he's looking at the quarterback playing zone. Guess what? Jacksonville plays a lot of zone. Tyson Campbell, the corner they got coming back, he's a really good man coverage guy. Guess what? Jim Schwartz loves to run a lot of man. Now, you get into the contract, I think it was very clear that Greg Newsome and the Browns were not in a close number. He's in the final year of his deal, and you would have to sign him to an extension moving forward. Any good general manager during a season is going to do what? Call that agent. What are you guys thinking for a number? And if that number is at all close, or we could have some wiggle room here, try to get to the same number, then I think Greg Newsome would be here and you try to figure out a deal moving forward. That obviously wasn't the case. Now, the other option is the Browns just go, well, we just don't really want Greg Newsome here anymore. I don't buy that. He was playing better. After the injury, the slot corner thing that all happened, I think he had some good games last year. I think he had a really solid season this year. But it came back to a numbers thing. It came back to a money thing. It was clear he wasn't going to be here. You get a little more control with Tyson Campbell because he signed a pretty big deal down there in Jacksonville. Now, they've paid a lot of that out already. And just looking off of Spotrac and Over the Cap, we got to get Jack. I got to get Jack on this. Jack Duffin, shout out to him, OBR. From what I see, Tyson Campbell's on $1 million deal this year and next year. He's making nothing. Then what I saw was an option to get out of it after 2026, and then 2027, 2028, you got 15, 16, you got some big cap numbers. You see the same thing there, Ryan, with Campbell?
I believe it's $3 million cap hit this year and next year. From what I gather from this whole thing was the kind of what you're saying. The Browns didn't necessarily think they were going to meet a number with Greg Newsome to extend him. I do believe they wanted to extend him, but not for the price that he was probably looking to make. So you go ahead and trade him to Jacksonville, a place where he can probably earn that contract that he wants. Mm-hmm. You bring in Campbell, a guy who hasn't performed as great since he got that contract from the Jaguars, but the thing is he's already paid up. If he gets back to the level of what Jim Schwartz and this defense sees value in him, then you can go ahead and keep him on the roster and pay out that extra money on the back half when
options are a good thing.
27 and 28. So essentially, you're doing a pick swap. You're trading a guy who wasn't in your future because you didn't want to extend him. You bring in a guy who is cheap and has the potential to get back to the same level that he was playing when he earned that contract.
Who's next?
David Njoku.
Yeah, that's the answer. That is it. Fannin has shown he can take that job. David Njoku, unfortunately, not long for the Cleveland Browns. People bring up Wyatt Teller. I hope not. I just don't think you have a backup there. And the thing is, you traded Greg Newsome you're getting Campbell back he's going to be your starter. That's fine. You don't need a backup tight end. I'll run with Fannin. You can pick somebody else up as a blocker. Trading Wyatt Teller gets dicey for me. Zinter, who's supposed to be on the left side, can't even make the roster right now. There are people put Luke Whippler in there. I think he's your center of the future. I don't know if you quite got that ready to go for Wyatt Teller. I don't want to see Wyatt go.
That's your red zone gadget.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You can't get rid of that. So then beyond that, some D-line depth, maybe. I don't really see much else. But the question is the rebuild on for the Cleveland Browns? Is it on? And I know Andrew Berry in the offseason didn't want to sound a 5-alarm fire by saying, well, yep, it's on. But he was dropping those hints. He was dropping of the soft rebuild and the reset. And his argument back then is an argument that I agree with. The NFL is not so much like baseball where you trade for all prospects and hope they all hit at the right time. It's not the NBA where you just collect 17 first-round picks and use that and move that all around. The NFL is meant to be a quick turnaround league. What is it? Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this stat. Isn't it something like 30% of the playoff field turns over every year?
Yeah,
there's always 4 or 5 new playoff teams every single year. The NFL loves that. They absolutely love that. Look at the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they had talent, right? They had talent that was maybe hurt, and they're getting a God performance here from Danny Dimes. But they like that turnover. They like getting new teams back into the playoffs. The Browns can easily turn this around. They have young talent now, thank God, and you find the quarterback, it's only ever going to come back to that, in my opinion. You find it, you're back, here we are. So you don't need to go into this full-on tear-down rebuild, but this year, I think, was that reset year. If you want to shed some salary, if you want to try to get into a good position there, pick up a fifth-round pick here and there and do all that, then so be it. And I think that's the soft reset that we're in. Okay, the final thing, and I don't want to talk about this, but we will. Deshaun Watson's never playing football for the Cleveland Browns again. Do I need to say that again? Deshaun Watson is not playing football for the Cleveland Browns. That's not happening. Absolutely not.
Are you willing to guarantee that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Just like my Giants money line play last week in our parlay, Ryan, where I guaranteed that. I guarantee you Deshaun Watson's not playing for the Cleveland Browns again. Number one, the insurance policy. And I got into a lot of people, respective conversation. I had a lot of fun on Twitter this week, which is kind of rare. So shout out to everybody. Follow me at Matt Fontana 83. Ryan is at Ryan Tyler 33. So this insurance policy, if Deshaun Watson does not play this year, the Haslam's get some cash back and they get some salary cap relief from the NFL. Here's where it gets dicey. If Watson is cleared to play, then you can't collect on that insurance policy. And that's independent doctors and all that. I'm wondering if Deshaun Watson is willing to play the game and go, it's not feeling all that right. I can't get back out there. Then you're good. The question is he going to force the issue on this? Here's why I don't think so. He's paid, obviously. He's got his money. He is going to resume his career starting next year somewhere else. Why would you want to go out there and risk further injury behind this offensive line playing for games that don't matter? Well, he's got to put some stuff on tape. He can keep putting those workout videos out. Because he obviously is ready, Matt. Look at these workout videos. And I go, him throwing on air in the facility is a little different than getting out there and actually playing a game. The clock is on. So here we are. The PUP rules. Let's catch everybody up on the PUP list that he's on. You had to be out 4 weeks. Done. The Browns now have a 5-week window. 5 more weeks that they can open a 21-day practice window. And then you must activate him. Okay? I say that to say all this, Ryan. They could have to do that. Let's say he's healthy. Let's say he's actually good to go and he wants to get back on the roster, right? The NFL can NFLPA can file a grievance about keeping him on the PUP if he's healthy. No problem with that. They cannot file a grievance about playing him. They could activate him. They don't got to play him. You really think Jimmy Haslam, who called this a swing and a miss, did he not call it a disaster? Am I misremembering that? Don't quote me on that. And I don't remember if Jimmy said that or not. But he about said what it was. You think he's going to play again for the Cleveland Browns? You really think he's going to play again for the Cleveland Browns? Absolutely not. No. Oh, they traded Joe Flacco. That must mean something. It's not that deep. It's really not. Deshaun Watson will never play for the Cleveland Browns again. Save that clip.
I will.
Save that clip. All right, we got it coming up. We'll get to the report card. We got our FanDuel parlay to get to this week. And we got to touch on Jose Ramirez. It all comes your way next. Ryan, I was on fairwayforwardohio.com a couple of days ago. You want to know why? My wife and I were talking. I love my Explorer. Maybe it's time for that upgrade. And I was telling her about it because of the Fairway Black Label line. I could go there. You could go there. You go to fairwayforwardohio.com. Number one expedition dealer. You see it there. You see amazing rates on all. Oh, is that 150 Explorers over there? Expeditions and Broncos? All righty. You can go in there. We can go in there. I'm going to go in there with my wife maybe and go, that's the Explorer I want. Let's talk about the Black Label line. What that is, a series of custom upgrades, premium wheel and tire package. Yes, me right here. Variety of lift and level kits for the trucks, performance enhancements, customized interior options, and that is on every single car on the lot, truck on the lot, and every truck that is there with the Fairway Black Label comes with a Rhino spray and bed liner. They are making this car yours. Could be pre-owned, could be brand new, whatever you need. This is so awesome about the customization there at Fairway Forward. And that, you know what I was doing? I was on their website, I was perusing the pre-owned, And I was in my head visioning it out. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the color I like. Let's maybe put the rims on there. Or the interior package, because my wife is very much about the interior. She doesn't like the captain seats in the middle. She wants the bench for our kids. So it's, again, you can go there, as I might do very soon, sit down and say, guys, this is what I'm looking for. I like these color options and this Explorer, this year, this mileage. This is what I'm looking to pay. And let's maybe sprinkle in some of these Black Label lines here. Man, I'm so excited about it. You can be excited about it too. FairwayFordOhio.com is our website to go. And as a bonus, many of the upgrades on the Fairway Black Label line can be financed for as low as 0% APR, depending on the vehicle line. Check them out today. They got the vehicle for you. I know they got the vehicle for me and our friends at Fairway Ford. All right, let's get to the report card. Steelers on tap. Comes your way next year. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
All right, welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play and The Rock, presented by our great friends at FanDuel. We'll get to our report card, getting ready to go for the Steelers this weekend. And as always, our show brought to you by our great friends at Pure AV. We had the big family get-together this weekend.
How'd that go?
It was great. We had an awesome time. The weather was perfect. I had 10 guys sitting on my couch trying to watch a football game. I was like, man, I wish I had the better setup here. And Pure AV can do all of that. Not just, again, the audio, the visual, the Dolby Atmos surround sound. They can help you with furniture. They can get the right setup for whatever you're looking to do with our friends at Pure AV. It's super easy to do, pre-build, or how about a renovation? Maybe you got a big renovation plan for 2026 coming up, and you know you want that home automation. Oh, dude, I was somewhere. They still had coax cable, like, lined on the walls. And I was like, huh. I mean, I get it. It's the old school way to do it. Now, everything, everybody watches TV like through their computer, right? Or through the internet, I should say, right? And you can do so much now. Wireless, Wi-Fi. You don't know until you reach out to Pure AV. And they are experts on every single line, every single model, every single thing with audio, visual, home automation, security, all of it. And even if you have stuff that's already installed and it's on the fritz, call them. Get a hold of Pure AV, because if it's broken, they can fix it even if they didn't install it. Even if you installed it, somebody else installed it, whatever, and it's not working properly, you can get Pure AV on it. It's football season. Basketball starting. Hockey is back. Now is the time to get that set up with our friends at Pure AV. Scan that QR code, check them out there, or go to pureavcorp.com. Ryan, let's get to it, the report card.
All right, we didn't really go through it together.
No,
so
and I like that we don't, because I think it kind of adds to the debate on the show a little bit. I've got some takes when we'll get to the other positions coming up. This one is not a debate. He is a four-time MVP. He is a future Hall of Famer. And even at 40, guy can still sling it. Aaron Rodgers. And what did Kevin Stefanski said? He's like one of the best pure passers that the NFL has ever seen.
Yeah,
I buy that. And you know, Rodgers, I don't want to say the Packers did him wrong. He won a Super Bowl. But, like, you would think for his talent level, he could have won more. I just think he's a real complete quarterback. He, even at his age, can move the pocket when he needs to. And, bro, he still has a cannon. He's still making down-the-field throws. DK Metcalf certainly helps that. This is no debate. And I frankly, at this point, don't know somebody on. We'll get to the schedule later on some of the quarterbacks that you might take Dylan Gabriel over. But right now, it is certainly not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, top 10 quarterback all time.
All right. Do you want the stat about the bye weeks? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The Steelers, who are coming off their bye week, right? They have one of the best overall. So this is since 1990 when they enacted, I think, redid the buys or whatever. Since 1990, the Pittsburgh Steelers as a team are 24-12 coming off of a bye.
Yeah.
When they are at home coming off of a bye, they are 11-3.
Yeah, good teams win coming off
Good teams win coming off the bye. Any guess who the best team in the NFL is? So the Steelers are second at 11-3. Coming off a bye at home.
This is since 1990?
Since 1990. The team that is number one, who is 12-2 at home coming off a bye. Any guess? I'll give you this. They have a very iconic home stadium.
Green Bay.
That is correct. Lambeau Field. Good job for the Packers there. So obviously Aaron Rodgers pretty good coming off the bye at home too. There you go. So that's tough go there. All right, let's see what you got.
All right, man. Let me know what you think.
Okay. All right. I'll listen to it. Let's start head coach here. I have an immense amount of respect for Mike Tomlin.
The only one I think that is kind of an argument is offensive line.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking head coach. I no. I don't know why Steelers fans want to fire Mike Tomlin all the time. They're just like sick of being good, I guess.
It's all about perspective.
It's very much him. Wide receivers, like, of course, they just let DK Metcalf get to the Steelers. I know it's a trade, but I saw that and instantly I was like, damn, that's a good trade.
DK Metcalf is great. He's a physical specimen. But at the end of the day, like, if Jerry Jeudy wasn't trash this season, it'd be close.
Sure, but do you also know who the second leading receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers is?
Jalen Warren.
Do you know who third is? Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
And then you get to Jonnu Smith and Pat
don't
Fryer.
You know, Matt, I produce a Pittsburgh Steelers show.
I know you do. Shout out to it's Charlie Batch and
Trey
Essex. Yeah, shout out to those guys.
I unfortunately know backup offensive line for the Steelers.
Well, there you go. Well, then you were better prepared to do this than maybe even I was. There you go. It is just basically DK, and Warren's coming off the injury. Now, he should be good to go after the bye and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, they don't really have that threat outside of DK. The problem is what? DK's a physical freak. Denzel's a little smaller. We'll see how that plays out there. So I give it to the wide receivers. Now, running back, I think this is a resurgence here with Quinshawn, who's...
I told you he's better than Jordan Mason.
I know. You were right. And Quinshawn's top 10 in rushing all there. I think it's different because Warren got hurt. I think if Jalen Warren had played in that London game, I'm a big Jalen Warren guy. I don't disagree with you. I'll go running back. Because of the pure running back, that is Quinshawn. Jalen Warren can kind of do it all. I like Jalen Warren a lot.
No, Jalen Warren's tremendous.
What happened to Caleb Johnson?
He just kind of stinks.
Yeah. What happened there?
And they're not playing him at all.
No, he doesn't play at all anymore. I think he was inactive for that last game, was he not?
Yeah,
he might have been.
I don't know if he was inactive just because Jalen Warren was, but you see special teams mistakes from him. Why he was ever returning kicks, I don't know. He has cement for shoes.
But Warren is back, so that'll be one to watch. Now, here's the offensive line, which is where we get a little bit different because through 4 games, 9 sacks.
But you need to look at for the Steelers or the Browns.
For the Steelers,
you need to look at the quarterback hits.
Yes. So here they go: Broderick Jones, former pick,
trash.
Isaac Samalo,
decent.
Yeah. Zach Frazier,
good.
Mason McCormick,
decent.
Yeah. And Troy Fotzen,
trash.
Yeah.
Sorry, I watch the Trench Report every week. That's Trey Essex when he breaks down the offensive line.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I honestly might have given it over there to the Steelers.
No,
but
Miles about to have a meal.
All right, he's gonna have a meal. Defensively, which is shocking, Ryan. The Pittsburgh defense is rear end.
They've been picking up the last 2 weeks, but
they have. But here's the thing. Here's who Pittsburgh has played. Right? Hang on.
Yeah.
So
I'm still not bought it.
No.
At all.
And let me start with this. They are the 5th worst overall defense. They are like the 3rd worst passing defense and only 19th in rush.
That's what happens when you sign Juan Thornhill.
They play. I didn't take that shot, but his wife's going to see this on social media and she's going to come after you. Is that right? They beat the Jets by 2. They lost to Seattle. Beat New England in a shocker because New England and Roger Stevenson fumbled 4 freaking times. And then they beat Minnesota sans J.J. McCarthy. And that defense is still that rear end facing Justin Fields. Again, Sam Darnold beat him. And they had to fumble 4 times in Carson Wentz. Very clearly the Browns.
Yeah.
Very clearly the Browns. So I agree. More than I thought. Offensive line was a little bit of a debate for us, but I very much agree with for you here on our report card. All right. So we've been circling it.
We've been so close.
We've been so close. Our FanDuel parlay is next. We'll tell you how to get signed up with our friends at FanDuel. We'll do it all next. Fontana Show right here on The Rock. And Big Play Parlay is next.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
All right, here we go, Ryan. Our 4-leg parlay presented by FanDuel. FanDuel, of course, presenting our show. And here on Big Play, I have so much fun on FanDuel, man. You know one other thing that I really am starting to enjoy?
Making money?
Well, yes, and I've been doing that. Sorry to the detriment there of FanDuel. I've been hitting some nice ones, buddy. We've been close. All right,
sure, they're really hurting.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. They do these now things with these boost tokens, and they give you 2 options. They're like, do you want a 30% just overall, or do you want a 50% same game parlay? And I'm like, I want that 50% same game parlay. The tokens are hot. Everything is great. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this. I think I can. I got an alert. This is just me, and I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. I got an alert on FanDuel that it was a promotion, like a token that I was able to use. I get 3 months of FanDuel Sports Network.
Nice.
I can watch the Jackets and the Cavs.
There you
I don't
go.
know if anybody can get that. Like, I got it on mine. I'm assuming anybody can. Check out doing this. Go to FanDuel. Sign up today, FanDuel.com/bigplay. If you're a new customer, you bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick any bet. Place $5. If it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Those parlays, bet player rides, the props, the lives, all of it is there. Go check out their promotions tab. It's got that little red icon up at the top. Check that out. See what's in there, man. They got so much good stuff at FanDuel. I love it. They present our show. Now, to get this deal, $5 and a win $300, you got to go to FanDuel.com/bigplay. I highly recommend signing up on a computer and then just downloading the app, and it all transfers. Your account is all there. Go to FanDuel.com/bigplay. Then you download the FanDuel app and get started today. Must be 21 and over, present in select states, or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is a non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccp.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.com in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Let's go. 4-leg parlay. Game number 1.
All right, what are we starting with?
Cowboys. Come on. Now, listen.
I don't hate it.
The Panthers, I get her a little spicy here. I still am not buying on Bryce Young. I get that there's times he looks better. I get that the Cowboys defense is paper thin. They'll just beat them 48-41. Okay, this is going to be just a shootout. Dak puts up 35 points like it's his job. Give me the Cowboys 3-point road favorites in this one. Right.
All right, let's go to the Seattle Seahawks versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm still standing on my take that the Jaguars, this is the word that I've heard about the Detroit Tigers, fugazi, Matt. I still don't believe in the Jaguars to be a real playoff contending team. They can make the playoffs, but what I mean by that is advancing in the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks, I got to say, I'm shocked they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought Baker Mayfield was tremendous, but how beat up they
got
were.
Bakered.
They
should have. Nathan Zagura brought this up this week. Every single stat EPA points to Seattle should have won that game in so many ways. They got Bakered. I'll listen
Baker's
to that.
Mayfield's the MVP right now.
I will listen to that.
Seahawks defense is legit. I love what they've done in the second year under Mike McDonald. They fixed some of their offensive line problems. Sam Darnold is playing tremendous. JSN is a rising superstar. Hey, if Seattle drops this game, so again, I'm going +1.5 if you're going to give me the points. But if they win, if Jacksonville wins this game, then maybe I'll have to admit they're real. But for now, I'm going Seahawks +1.5.
Seahawks it is. We got a lot of road ones in this one. We'll do a road one again. When did everybody start crowning the Falcons? Did you watch the Bills?
They're favored.
Have you? I know, but I get that it's road, and that's a big part of this. Is normally the home team gets 3. We're gonna ride yet another road favor. That's 3 for 3 on the roadies here. Bills -4.5. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm going to home one here.
No.
Give me the Colts by a touchdown. The Colts are for real. Since I saw them play the Rams, I know they lost, but they are for real. Daniel Jones, the marriage with Shane Steichen has worked out tremendous. Jonathan Taylor is an absolute beast. Their defense is doing enough. Arizona Cardinals, after an emotional loss, blowing that game to the Tennessee Titans. Jonathan Gannon finds 6 figures. I don't like what's going on in that locker room right now. Give me the Colts. They're going to roll over the Cardinals all day.
It's interesting things. The 2 former Eagles coordinators going back at it here. Gannon going to get fired. He's now the favorite to be the first one gone. What a jerk. What an absolute jerk he is.
Yeah.
You're picking on an undrafted guy. I know he's a couple years ago, but I get what
can't put hands.
You can't do that, man. He seems like a really bad coach. So I get that. All the hype there, all the outside
Did you know
stuff
he
there.
went to Ignatius?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
I did know that.
Let's make some bread.
+1066. Let's go. Roads. The roads. 3 roads. We got our dog in there, but we got 2 big ones. 6
You like my Broncos last week? I told you.
I know, you're right. Ryan's hot. Eventually, we're going to get to the point on the show where I step out and let Ryan just do all 4, but we're going to get it this week. Here we go. Bet with our friends at FanDuel. Get signed up today, FanDuel.com/bigplay. All right, let's get to it. We got to talk Jose Ramirez. We normally talk Buckeyes next. Got to bring up the interview that he did, how important it is. Comes your way next. Fontana Show. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Welcome back, Fontana Show. Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler with you. We'll talk a little Jose. We'll sprinkle in some Buckeyes, but it's always presented by our great friends at Physicians Ambulance. Folks, you're an MT or a paramedic and you're looking for some work, go check out Physicians Ambulance. You're going to walk into a place that is driven by their employees. They treat their employees like family. Your equipment is going to be calibrated. Your vehicle is going to be new, fully stocked, organized. Your training is cutting edge. Your managers have you back. And it's also, imagine working your full clinical scope while pushing the entire industry forward. That is Physicians Ambulance, folks. And they're hiring right now, physiciansambulance.com. They don't just talk about being better. They don't just sit there and go, well, we're just going to take. No, I have seen the growth with this company. Jason has his grandparents started this company, third generation family owned. Every day, medical direction, dedicated clinical education, innovative methodologies. I mean, they do it. They could just be, we're just going to, keep the same status quo and keep doing things. That's not how they roll at Physicians Ambulance. They don't. They work with all the major sports teams here in Cleveland. So if you love sports and you want to marriage your job with a little bit of sports, you're an EMT or paramedic, Physicians Ambulance is the place to go. 8 locations, headquartered in Brecksville, Satellites, North Ridgeville, Mentor, Kent, Warren, Ashland, Worcester, and Columbus now. They're all over. Physiciansambulance.com. Real quick, Ohio State down to 14.5 over Illinois.
I mean, I think it's their biggest challenge yet. I mean, you could say Texas was, but you were home. Is this in Illinois?
Yes, it's at Champaign. It's a noon kick, which is 11 a.m. time for them.
I'd say on the road, and given how Texas
Champaign can be very tough.
I mean, Illinois is not bad. You got your butt kicked by Indiana, but did you bounce back? Got a ranked win against USC.
That's why I think Washington was a better test than Illinois. And I might eat my words.
Maybe.
But now that it's down, it opened, I think, at 17. It's down to 14.5. I think the Buckeyes are starting to roll. They're starting to go. I think the Jeremiah Smith back into the offense a little bit here.
Shout out James Franklin, man.
How does he still have that job? He's going to have that UNC job. He's going to have that job soon because that job's going to be open real soon.
I am committed to the UNC program.
Isn't James Franklin's buyout like $70 million? How do I get a buyout? How do I get a buyout?
No idea.
That I can get paid to do nothing. I guess there was a point in my life I didn't get paid to do nothing. But all right, here we are. Jose Ramirez does an interview. Did in Spanish, so it had to be translated. And the alarming thing to a lot of fans, Ryan, was basically he was going, I was sold something that didn't come to fruition. I was basically sold that if I took this hometown deal, they would use this money to spend for other players. And they haven't. And that is very concerning, right? Because, yeah, he's here through 2028 or to 2028, so you got a couple more years. Oh, man. Here's the toughest thing about the Guardians. If you were just really bad, that's an easier sell. You just go, well, we can't do everything. What actually hurts the Guardians is they are this close. And Jose feels and we feel that they could just be one player away from that. That's the hardest thing. It'd be easier if you were just absolutely trash. And you go, well, we can't sign a pitcher and this guy and this. No, a lot of people really feel like you're only one away. And you're at this again. Here we are again. Young guys potentially coming up, but you just feel like you're one piece away. And I appreciate, I think a lot of people, that Jose is going to actually start putting a little bit of pressure on the organization to do something. Where's Blitzer and all this? I don't know. We'll figure it all out. Ryan, you talked about this on the Big Factor, the ad that came out in the Plain Dealer. I mean, it's the same sentiment that a lot of people have had with the Dolans. I don't want to say I've defended them, but I've understood where things have been with the Dolans. They don't have as much money as everybody else, right? And, when's the last time the Yankees have made the World Series, right? They spend on them, but it just hurts because you feel like you could be one player away from it being really a potential World Series type thing. And I just don't ever think it's that easy. But you don't want to be pissing off your star player.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a guy who could come in and ground that rotation with Tanner Bybee, Gavin Williams, a guy like Shane Bieber, or if you had a 100 RBI guy batting behind Jose Ramirez, maybe a guy like Josh Naylor, he might be playing baseball right now. But
yeah, that's where we're at.
Wait, we did.
We did. They were here. Wait a minute. Well, Slade helped you get there, so I mean that was part of the Naylor thing. But yeah, I mean they're going to have to put all their eggs in the basket of Travis Bazzana. That he's going to be a good middle of the rotate or middle order type of guy, starting second baseman next year. Just sign somebody. Do something. I'm starting to get there. I used to defend the Dolans a lot. Now I'm getting antsy. I'm starting to get antsy about this. I hope they do some. I hope we do something in the grid. I feel like we've been cold. I feel like we look cold. We got it. Immaculate Grid comes your way next. Fontana Show here on Big Play in the Rock, presented by FanDuel. We are on Physicians Ambulance, Pure AV, Fairway Ford, and Garage Beer. Grid is next. All right, Ryan, let's go. Immaculate Grid. Here we are. Recording an interception.
That's a new one.
All right, here we go. You want to knock that out? You want to save? You like saving those for later. Let's do that. All right.
Eagles and the Giants.
What's screaming there?
Brandon Marshall.
I don't know if he was in. I think he was in Philly.
Alshon Jeffrey? Was he on the Giants? No, he's on the Bears.
I don't know if he went to the Giants. Something is literally like, it's not Odell. It's something that level, like slapping me in the face.
Yeah. Look, come on. We're dumb. Saquon.
That's it.
I mean, it took me a minute,
I
too.
was like, what
It
is
took me a minute, too, so don't feel bad. Eagles, Washington. All right, let's knock this
Marcus Mariota.
You played for the Eagles?
Yeah, he was their backup.
Was he?
Like, I'm pretty sure now you now you got the doubt in my head.
I was going to say, I had another one. Shoot, who was it? Oh, my goodness. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, but doesn't Deshaun Jackson work for Washington and the Texans?
I don't remember Deshaun Jackson.
All right, just rip Deshaun Jackson there. I think Mariota works there, too. All right,
You wanna go?
Washington and the Cardinals. Is that not Colt McCoy?
Yes.
It is Colt McCoy. It is Colt McCoy. All right, yeah.
Giants, Cardinals.
Why do I keep thinking of a DB here? It's not Patrick Peterson. Dory Jackson is not correct. I think he's still there. That's a deep cut. Justin Tuck. Jason Pierre-Paul.
Did he play for the Cardinals?
I don't remember.
We'll move off.
Yeah, sure. All right.
New York and the Texans.
Matt Schaub. RIP Ryan Mallett.
Arian Foster was never in the Giants, was he?
No, I don't think so. Ted Ginn never played in Houston. I don't know why I remember. I thought he played in Washington. I don't even remember if he did or not. Oh man,
This is some tough teams.
yeah, these are some tough teams.
Jeez.
All right, Giants quarterbacks.
Mike Glennon.
Jared
Jones.
Lorenzen, Eli Manning, Colt McCoy.
Tyrod was on the.
Oh, I screwed up. We could have used Colt for the Giants and the Cardinals.
Mike White.
Danny
DeVito.
yeah.
Matt Barkley.
Jameis Winston doesn't work for any of those other ones either.
He's never played a game for the Giants.
No.
Jeez.
Okay.
We think of anything.
I'm really stuck. Like receivers, like you said, you want to. Brandon Marshall didn't work for any of those other ones.
Like Washington, Houston. Kickers? Do we start going down that way?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Graham Gano kicked for the Cardinals.
I don't remember. Zane Gonzalez, I know did. I don't know if he ever kicked for the
Might
Giants.
just have to rip a kicker.
All right.
Which one are we feeling? Or did Josh Johnson that well work?
Sure. Man,
Doesn't
a
work
disappointing effort from us this week.
Yeah, but that's what happens when we're against time as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like, it is what it is, man. You can't win them all.
You can't win them all.
Look at some of the most popular. Kurt Warner.
Matt Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Donovan McNabb. I mean, like, these weren't easy ones.
I wouldn't have gotten David Carr. I didn't know he went to the Giants after that.
Hey, man,
but
can't win them all.
can't win them all. Can the Browns win them all? Can they get a win in Pittsburgh coming off a bye? Our picks are next. All right, appreciate everybody joining us in this week's show. You can always catch the replay Thursday nights, social media. It's out on Big Play. Follow us at Matt Fontana Show, Fridays at 4 o'clock on The Rock, presented by our great friends at FanDuel, Physicians Ambulance, Pure AV, Garage Beer, and Fairway Ford. We head to Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
6.5.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Steelers 24-14.
I'm gonna go Browns. I'm gonna go Browns.
Cover?
No. Sorry, I'm gonna go Steelers win.
Browns cover.
19-13.
That's a cover. I'll take it. It opened at 4.5. It's all the way up to 6.5. Might even go higher. Pittsburgh's a tough place to play, man. Coming off the bye. Don't know what to tell you. All right, again, appreciate everybody joining us. We'll talk to you next week. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.